Broadcasting live from Halifax, Nova Scotia, this is the Wrestlecentre Podcast.
Hey guys, welcome to the Wrestlecentre Podcast. Do not adjust your sets. We are together and we are in HD, baby.
That's right, Dave. You can see every imperfection on our grizzled, ugly faces. Thank you so much, fans, for joining us here tonight.
As you can tell, we've been here for a while, had a couple beer. Later on in the show, we're going to have Jake
Van Ewyk. He calls him Smith. He doesn't know how to say his name properly. So.
And Mr. Vegan himself, Marcus Burke, will join us. It's an awesome interview. But before we get on to all that stuff, we're going to go on about the big card that's coming up April 9th at the Halifax Forum Multi-Purpose Center, which I hate saying. MP3. MPC.
Hey, my brother's calling.
Yeah, tell him we're busy. So, anyway, big card, of course, headlined by Samoa Joe coming in to go after Christopher Daniels for the IHWC Heavyweight Championship. You guys, what are your thoughts on the big main event?
You've seen him wrestle before in different organizations. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be wicked. Really, to be honest with you, I'm pretty pumped. I had the best seat in the house. Well, next to yours, but
I have the best seat.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, how do you follow up a marquee name like Mick Foley coming in for the one-year anniversary show? You give fans a huge matchup like this. Samoa Joe, fresh off TNA. Who knows where he's going next after Wrestlecentre? There's been a lot of talk. So this could be fans' only chance to see him in the Maritimes, and a better opponent than Christopher Daniels. A lot of history there, so I can only imagine they're going to have a great matchup.
It could be their last time that they face each other after their long history, like for years and years, and wrestled around the world. Like if you go follow rumors and stuff, who knows?
The promo that Daniels cut. If anyone watched Promo Center, if you haven't watched it, watch it. You're not a fan of it? I think it was awesome. He's super up in the camera, and
yeah, it was great.
It was very intense.
Yeah, it was intense.
The interview was great. Yeah.
This is what you get when you get three of us in the same area.
Yeah. So huge main event. Then we have Matt Sydal is also coming to Halifax. He's facing Double XL, another huge match. I know I just saw Steve's video he posted on Facebook this week of him training for Matt Sydal. It could possibly be match of the night, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, no doubt, biggest match for, in my opinion, Double XL in Wrestlecentre. He's going up against reborn Matt Sydal, a guy who's completely reinvented himself since coming out of the WWE. And what better way for Double XL to make a statement, not only to Wrestlecentre management, but to promoters around the world that, hey, I'm the real deal, I deserve main event spots, I deserve to be featured on your cards, than to knock off reborn Matt Sydal on April 9th.
Yeah.
Couldn't have said it better.
Christ, for once, Justice Squad.
Take a shot.
Another match that could be the main event anywhere in the Atlantic provinces. Wildman Gary Williams is coming out of retirement. It's been well over a year for sure, that I know of. He's finally getting in the ring to maybe shut Brody Steele up, but maybe it could be the other way around. But Wildman Gary Williams taking on Brody Steele. Huge match.
I'm pumped for this one.
Well, yeah, I mean, Brody Steele's laid you out a couple times now, so you can only imagine you're looking for your trainer to get some retribution on your behalf. I don't see it happening, though. Brody Steele's, I love Gary Williams to death. He's fantastic, but Brody Steele's been active over this past year, taking names, kicking asses everywhere he goes. Gary, fantastic competitor. I think the layoff is going to come back to bite him.
Have you seen him lately, though?
I have. I bumped into him downtown during the World Curling Championships, Draw 14, Canada versus Scotland. He looks in great shape, but you can look in great shape. But once you get into that ring, it's a whole different story. Brody Steele being active over the past year, I think, plays better for this match. I see Brody Steele walking out the victor.
Wow.
It pains me to say, but
I completely disagree with you.
Of course you do.
About everything.
About
everything. I'm going the other route with that one. Gary Williams coming out victorious. Brody, please don't be watching this.
Nobody watches.
Nobody watches it.
But no, I think Gary's he's gonna use that passion and the fact that he has been beating up his students where he's been beating up his students. So maybe that could fuel him a little bit, please. Thanks for coming and saving us last show. Totally appreciate it.
Well, as the old man in the room and who has grown up watching Gary Williams, my money's on Gary Williams. I've seen him in the ring. I see what he can do, and he's what Brody Steele has been putting him through for the last year. He has that behind him. I feel sorry for Brody Steele.
Well, it's my apartment, so the official verdict is Brody Steele. Next match.
Dean Fisk.
Fisk, baby!
My favorite is facing Tommy Starr.
Who's nobody's favorite.
I love Tommy. My wife loves Tommy. Jesus.
I bet
was
she
Tommy
does.
at the WrestleMania party? I said, well, James was. Who's James? Tommy Starr. She said, but he wore glasses. I said, well, Tommy doesn't wear glasses in the ring. But anyway,
You're not supposed to wear glasses.
She's a huge...
I train with my glasses on, so...
Yeah, we seen where your glasses went when Brody slapped you.
He was nice enough to move them for him.
He didn't slap me.
You choked him out like a...
He slapped Brett like a little bitch.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement. Dean Fisk.
Yes.
Sure. I hate Tommy Starr. I don't know
Poor Tommy.
how he has a job with both the Greaser and Wrestlecentre, getting, I would imagine, 2 paychecks. I don't know how. I don't get it. Next
You're
match.
such an asshole.
Speaking of...
I've interviewed him like every time I'm on Voltage interviewing somebody, it's Tommy Starr. It's Tommy Starr. The motherfucker, excuse me, the guy won't invite me over for dinner, but I've interviewed him like 80 times.
I wonder why. Tommy, please invite him over for dinner.
Just shut him up. You cook him some... Well, you can't even cook him anything.
He's a
it's all
vegan.
vegan, so... Have vegan and him over at the same time.
Speaking of vegan, how's that for a segue?
That's a good segment. I'm glad I set that
Marcus
up.
Burke is defending his title against Nick Diggs, the IHWC Championship. I remember their tournament match. It was awesome. Marcus Burke is going to be on our show later on. We'll ask him about it, but what do you guys think about that matchup? I love Nick Diggs.
Nick kicked the shit out of me a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Everyone kicks the shit out of me, apparently. No, he's changed. He's changed. He's not the same Nick Diggs that he was. Still wears the same gear, but that's the only difference in him. That's the only similarity in him right now. He's completely changed. So I'm not saying he's going to win, because Marcus Burke is a tough son of a bitch, but we'll see where it goes.
So you're not saying anything?
No.
I'll take the hard stand here, and I'll say Marcus Burke retains. 110%. Love Nick Diggs. Great new haircut for the young man. But Marcus Burke, hands down, is at this stage, I think, the better competitor.
Yes.
I think he's faced better competition throughout the Maritimes and throughout the Northeast. I know he's wrestled down in Boston and New York, which we'll get to in the interview later. I just think Marcus Burke, hopefully, is coming out IHWC champion, title holder at the end of the night. It's not a knock on Nick Diggs. Bright future ahead of him, but April 9th will not be his night.
You concur?
I concur. I do concur.
God,
I think we agreed on a couple of things there.
Wow. So I'm a huge Marcus Burke fan. I'm a huge Nick Diggs fan.
So you're torn.
I'm torn. I like this.
Doesn't matter what you like to see.
I love
what you know is gonna
I
happen.
love Burke, but I love to see a title on Nick Diggs.
Yeah, he'll have a title after April 9th. Guy who's lost to Marcus Burke.
Especially after
the title.
What he went through to get the #1 contendership match with James Carr in that Falls Count Everywhere Hardcore No Holds Barred Last Man Standing match.
First Blood, Texas Death, Hell Without a Cell match. Only at Wrestlecentre.
And he went crashing through the table. Like the poor guy. Give the guy the title. My money's on the guy the title.
Put the strap on him, as somebody would say in a certain Hall of Fame speech.
Greaser James Carr, he's facing very popular wrestler in the Maritimes in Canada, Lincoln Steen. I wish this was a hair versus hair match.
Who knows? Let's put that up the pipeline. Let's see if we can make that happen.
If Wrestlecentre management is watching, and we know they're not, that's a solid idea. If you're asking me who I'm picking, I'll just based on favorites and who I've tweeted most about through my various Twitter accounts, it'll be Lincoln Steen. I'm a Steenager at heart, Greaser James Carr. You know, he's had a rough couple of months. Double XL, Nick Diggs, I think he continues. I think Lincoln Steen walks out victorious.
I think I'm going the other way. I think Grisha's going to win. Not because he's better, because he's going to have his lackey, Tommy, do the work.
We've already established Tommy Starr is a nothing. He's a nobody. He will not factor into the equation here.
All right, then. I think that's how he's going to win. Tommy's going to come in and interrupt something.
I love Lincoln Steen. He does so much for us, promotion-wise on Twitter. I tell you guys all the time. He makes my job easy. But my money's on James
job
Carr.
is that hard, anyways.
My job there. You made me swear. My job is hard. Damn it. My money's on Grisha James Carr. I'm a huge fan of James Carr, and I think he wants to redeem himself from the last man standing, no holds barred, anything goes. The match, and I think he wants to start going back up that ladder. And unfortunately, I think Lincoln Steen's going to be.
He can want to do that all he wants, but that's a big first step.
Well, it is a big step.
You start with somebody easy like Numbnuts over here. Fuck you.
If I ever get to face Breezer, I will beat him. Yeah. I will put money down on it.
And you'll see that match in the year 2019.
Yeah.
Red Dragon Shane Stevens is going against heel factions Titus, who I said stole the show the last show, Titus. So Shane Stevens definitely has his workout cut out for him, but I'm sure
Shane's been hitting the gym a lot lately.
Shane's a beast.
He's been hitting the gym a lot lately. He's looking in amazing shape. So Titus, don't take him lightly is all I'm going to say. I'm not having an opinion on this match though.
I'll borrow your line of thinking from the last match. Heel faction maybe plays as a factor in this, but I just see Titus being too much on April 9th. He's been just dominant in Wrestlecentre since day one, and there's been nothing in his performances inside the ring to indicate that his momentum's slowing down anytime soon. So I think Shane puts up a hell of a fight. I think Titus is going to be sore on April 10th, but he's walking out the winner.
I think Titus is going to underestimate Shane because the last few matches that Titus have been, he was in a tag match and he was in, who did he fight last time? Julian. Yeah. Which was awesome. But I think Shane brings something totally different to the game, and Titus's big legs might feel a few kicks. Bring him down a few notches. So it's going to be an interesting match. But yeah, I'm not calling him. I'm not calling who's going to win this.
So I'm going with Titus. I'm the only one with the balls on this panel to make a prediction each and every time.
I'm in the ring with all of them, so I don't want to piss
anybody off. I gotta deal with them all backstage. Fuck that shit.
We announced this week on our Facebook and Twitter that the returning Max Power is coming back to Wrestlecentre. He's facing Matt Bullen. So
what a way to come
welcome back.
Hey, come back to Wrestlecentre. We'll give you a match. Bully. Okay.
I love Max Power. I mean, he's awesome. High flyer, a lot of moves. But I don't know how many of those moves you can do to a brick wall, and that brick wall being Matt Bullen.
Once again, I got the shit kicked out of him too. So
it's all about Justin.
Take a shot.
Every match is because they attack Justin.
They all want to keep attacking me, so.
That says something about your personality.
Yeah, probably. Bully. Easy.
Easy? No, I wouldn't say easy. But I'm going with Matt Bullen, too. He's just a monster.
Yeah. Big boy.
Big boy. What were you going to say?
That was Matt Bullen.
Oh, okay.
Max Power.
That was the 8 matches. Hard to believe, but we actually have a 9th match to announce.
Holy
shit. We'll do it right here. Well, breaking news.
There was only 7 on WrestleMania, and that was a 4-hour show.
Yeah, but that Ronda.
Oh,
that was worth the
not that Ronda, dog.
Breaking news. I got one more match.
There better be a graphic.
And I'm only announcing because there will be a graphic. I already made it. People were asking me, where's Julian Young? Where's Julian Young? Julian Young is going to be there. He is facing the returning Big Daddy Cooper.
Hey!
I'm such a huge fan of Big Daddy Cooper. They were supposed to wrestle at the last show, but there was some travel issues or whatever. But Julian Young is going to be there, and he's facing Big Daddy Cooper. So that's your card. That's 9 huge matches.
Holy shit!
3 matches that could easily be the main event.
So wait, 9. Okay, so we have 9 single matches for April 9th.
Yes.
And what we've taken away is that you're a fan of every single person in all of those matches.
Pretty well.
The Switzerland of pro wrestling in the Maritimes.
I like everyone
boys.
except for these 2.
Except Tommy Starr. Everyone hates Tommy Starr.
I love Tommy.
Well, what a surprise!
Last week, we before we get to the Marcus Burke interview, which I hope it turned out, but we Marcus
hope is not a strategy.
hung up before we could hit the stop button, so I'm hoping it didn't screw up the video, and if it did, then maybe we can squeeze him in again. But anyway, hopefully.
Yes, because we can reenact that whole fucking thing.
Well, we could try. We can try. Maybe you can play the part of Marcus Burke.
Yeah.
Are you a vegan?
This perfect body. Right.
Before we go to Marcus Burke, earlier on we had a chance to talk to one of our super fans. He was at the last show. His reaction to Samoa Joe was classic. I'm going to show you a little clip of it right now.
Chatting with Jake Van Ewyk. Say that right?
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
Get a normal name, seriously.
Fuck you.
Welcome to the Wrestlecentre podcast.
Well,
Yeah, thank you.
last time you'll be on this fucking podcast.
Well, you don't have to swear because
Anyways, what's up?
Not much, man. Just sitting at home and doing nothing like always.
Are you drinking that from the? He's drinking it from the carton.
Drinking almonds.
Nice.
So
Do you
I
make-
guess Marcus Burke must be your favorite wrestler then, inspiring a vegan lifestyle now.
No, not quite. I'm still not a vegan, but I do like him. He's awesome. Yeah. I'm a fan.
My first question has to be, why is there a blonde wig in your bedroom?
You see that? I thought you were talking about my hair.
No.
I was like, what the fuck? But no, I was just out with a few friends and we found it on the street.
Oh.
So you were wearing a blonde wig on the street.
Yeah. So that my go ahead.
Where guys wear tights, so I don't think a blonde wig is.
I don't wear tights.
You're not wrong. You're very right. Yeah. No, my street name's Smokey.
That's your dead brother.
Who was with you? You keep looking over.
It's my dad. He's
Hi,
tight.
Dad.
My dad.
Wait, I
coming.
think he just called his own dad a douche, did you?
Shit with you, you little asshole.
Fuck off. Get out of here.
Apple doesn't fall for a tree.
So you pumped for the April 9th show?
Sorry?
You pumped for the show?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, it should be good. Well, I mean, with my reaction to Samoa Joe, I guess you can understand why I'm excited for it. But I'm looking forward to it. I was really pumped about Seidel, and now with Joe, I'm like, holy shit, Ring of Honor, like this is awesome.
So have you been to all our shows so far?
I think I missed 2. I think I missed the first AJ one. Yeah, I missed the first AJ one, and then the Michael Elgin show I couldn't go because my band was having a show that day, and so I couldn't fucking do it. But yeah, Other than that, I've been to every one. I've been like in front row if I can be, and best. It's the best wrestling around here. So
What kind of music does your band play? Like smooth jazz, R&B?
Not quite. I'm into heavy metal, I suppose you would call it. Yeah, brother.
As you can tell, so am I.
Yeah, I can tell. The suits. I think you guys would be called the. Yeah, but
we showed the reaction video of you reacting to Samoa Joe. It was awesome.
Yeah.
At one point, I believe when Samoa Joe said he was coming April 9th, you didn't hear it, and Landon told you. You were like, "What did he say?"
I was like, "What did he say?"
And then you went,
"Oh, fuck, it's me."
You were praying to the gods. Why Samoa Joe? Why are you such a big Samoa Joe fan?
I'm not even a huge Samoa Joe fan. Like, I'm not even like a huge fan of many people, but I do like Samoa. I'm just a wrestling fan. I like the sport. I like it all. It's just a good fucking thing. I like wrestling. But I do like Samoa Joe. I've seen his stuff. I think he's awesome. And I just like when he came in, I wasn't expecting it whatsoever. So it blew my fucking brains out. I was like, holy shit, of all people. The guy that just left TNA, I just saw him in Ring of Honor because I had just watched the anniversary show the night before. I just caught it. And then I seen him, like, what the fuck? Of all people, like, it completely caught me off guard. So that's why I freaked out mostly.
Is that your favorite Wrestlecentre moment so far?
I mean, yeah, I'd say. Because I had thought before... many times to my friends, I'd just been like, you know what they should do? They should shut off the lights in that place. Do it for like an entrance. Like those 3 Wildman Academy guys, put them in like a Shield type team, fucking shut off the lights, and have them come through the crowd or some shit like that.
I wrote that synopsis. I wrote that exact synopsis.
I'm perfectly fine with that idea. I like that idea.
Those 3 guys are pretty cool, except for that tattooed guy. That guy
You're not escaping that nickname.
Our rating is just...
My mom's not going to hit refresh for that 10th time now.
I'm sorry.
I apologize to everyone. No.
I'm sorry. But yeah, no, when they shut the lights off, I just, like, I was in disbelief. It was like, they're actually doing this. And then, because it's such a small space, it makes it so much cooler. But actually being a small space with the window doors that they have, when he came through, he passed by me, exactly. Me and everyone, that he passed exactly me. And there's no mistake in that big fucking Samoan. Like, there is no mistake. And so I see him, and you can hear it. When the lights are off, you can hear me going, "It's Joe! It's Joe! Holy shit!" Like, I'm just going nuts, and like Landon's losing it too, and everyone.
For a second, could you imagine the disappointment in the Halifax Forum Multi-Purpose Center if the lights went out and it was you and the other students? Do you imagine, like, just how just
I would have liked it. I like them. I'm on it. I liked you, and I like fucking Brett and whoever the other guy is. The I don't know him, but I know Brett. But yeah, no, I like them. I think they're fucking cool. They should be a team. They should, like, I like them. I think they have a cool look, and they should beat the shit out of fucking Peter or Brody.
Yes.
Screw Peter.
Don't say that.
Peter, that big having bastard.
We may have to turn the lights off again for that.
Should, yeah. No, like, seriously. No, it would have, that would have been cool.
You are coming April 9th?
You can bet your ass. I'm going to try to get the exact same seat just because. Just because I'm going to wear the same shirt. I'm going to look the exact same. Because it's just, I'm going to try. I have the shirt cleaned. I'm going to keep it clean. And just keep it, good. And I'll be there. It'll be good.
So what was your favorite moment that you never really touched on?
Favorite moment? Yeah. Oh, sorry. Fuck.
Really just push that, eh?
I
We can say one. We can't say the other one.
Yeah. But no, favorite moment is, like, I'm a big sucker for surprises. That's why I got into wrestling, is mainly the theatrics and, like, the whole theater aspect of it. I love shit like that. So AJ, his surprise was nuts. Last thing I expected when I heard the music and shit. And just, yeah, I'd say Samoa Joe. That moment was awesome. Also, last show, I'm pretty sure Titus did an inverted Frankensteiner. and that's like my favorite move, so I lost my shit. So that's a pretty good moment too.
It was the Spanish fly.
Spanish fly, is that what they call it?
Yeah, Spanish fly.
I don't know. I loved it.
Bird of Frankenstein. Spanish fly is stupid. Anyway, yeah.
Okay,
So,
so favorite wrestler? Who local?
Oh,
So
man.
no Samoa Joe. Who's your favorite local wrestler?
Local, yeah, okay, local. I'm a big fan of Marcus, like I said before. He's awesome. He's hilarious. He can wrestle like a motherfucker. He's really good. And Titus is really growing on me. Like, I never liked Titus. I never had a thing for him. But then, I had a thing for him. I'm all gay for him now. But like,
the wig behind you.
yes, exactly. I'm gonna come up to Titus. Hey, look, Titus. It's my new gimmick. But yeah, no. After a little bit, like that recent match he had with Julian, which was kind of dumb because Julian and Double XL both went double that night, which was kind of weird. But no, that match with Julian was awesome, and like he does the crunchy really well too. He did the Sin Cara fucking backflip, goddamn like STO off the top rope, and that was insane. So Titus is really good.
Oh, that's the Spanish fly.
Oh,
You're a student at Wildman Academy. How do you not know what these moves are?
He said inverted something. I thought that's. I don't remember him doing the inverted.
back to the Navy. You fucking
Wrestle knowledge here by Jake Smith. This is ridiculous.
idiot. Knowing your shit about wrestling, trying to fucking, it's the Spanish fly, actually.
Now you got your new chant when Justin comes out. Spanish fly.
Yeah.
No, you're a twat.
Anyway, I want to thank you for being on the Wrestlecenter podcast. Our fans are the best. What?
Anytime. Anytime.
Awesome. So we'll see you in 6 days.
Yes, definitely. Shout out to Landon. Get him on the podcast. Fuck you too. Get him on the podcast. Landon.
We had Landon last show.
Did you?
Don't watch
Okay.
us.
Well,
Nobody
I
watches us.
I don't
No one watches us.
I don't watch shit. I just
Sean's
watch.
mom watches us.
That's about it.
Of course you do.
All right, man. Well, thank you so much, and we'll see you in 6 days.
All right, cool. Do you expect me to get off of here, or are you gonna go?
You will cut, and then, but never mind.
Thanks, Buck, for editing.
All right, and cut. There, beautiful. So that was Wrestlecenter fan Jake. Thank you for joining us. He was awesome. We'll see you on.
Prick.
He got potty mouth.
He does.
A little bit of potty mouth.
Fit right in with us, I guess.
Last week we all had the honor of going to the IWK. We donated $1,000 that you guys raised. It wasn't us. It was you guys buying a sock with Mick Foley's face and his signature on it. And
Wrestling logic.
Mick Foley was awesome. He had blue hands for the rest of the show. But because of you guys, $1,000 went to the IWK. It was awesome. We were all there. Yep. Justin got to play with a big check.
Yeah.
Because he likes playing with big.
Fuck off. Shut up.
And where is the check? You have it, don't you?
It's in my car.
Yeah, you tried to catch it, but the roller kicked him out. But anyway, thank you guys so much. Mick Foley tweeted, he replied. But it was awesome, so...
Yeah, let's just let that sink in for a second. Dave Boyce messaged Mick Foley asking him to properly tweet something.
Yep.
Wow, that's balls, man. That is...
He hasn't come back to me.
You wouldn't make a prediction on the matches for April 9, but you kind of took WWE Hall of Famer to the woodshed about how to properly use Twitter.
Here's how I learned that you don't put an @ at the beginning of your tweet, because I did it to Colt Cabana, and he nicely messaged me, as I did to Mick Foley. He said, you're doing it wrong, it's only going to me. So I felt in my heart of hearts to let Mick Foley, WWE Hall of Famer, hardcore legend, know that he can't tweet right.
You're a fucking idiot. This is what we got to deal with.
We went from, we could have been like 9,000 hits to 3. And one of them was the IWK that I already knew about it. So, yeah. Anyway, $1,000. Thank you guys so much. Mr. Socko Sales, it was awesome. Mick Foley was awesome, as I'm sure Samoa Joe will be. April 9th, which is coming up this Thursday night.
That boy is huge.
Oh,
I don't mean
massive.
like something like that tall. Like, you see people on TV. Same with
That expert insider analysis you can only find here on the Wrestlecentre podcast. How do you think Samoa Joe's going to do? He's tall.
He's tall.
He's tall. Yeah.
Not as tall as Titus.
No. So those two
he's a
wrestle.
tall
Titus
lad.
will be taller. Are we throwing anything?
So, as we mentioned earlier, Marcus Burke is defending his title. We had the great honor of sitting with Marcus Burke, had a chat with him. So, let's go to that interview right now. We're back, and we are joined by none other than the IHWC champion, Mr. Suave, Marcus Burke. Mr. Burke, welcome to the Wrestlecentre podcast.
What's up?
You're so excited to be here.
Yeah, very excited. So, who are you exactly?
Wait for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at you.
Look at you.
So, what do we call you? Mr. Burke, Mr. Suave?
You can call me Marcus. You can call me Burke. You can call me whatever you want, buddy.
All right.
Asshole.
So, before we
Justin, I can tell you're going to the gym. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Fat fuck.
Fucking prick.
Oh,
Hey, Justin, I thought you wanted to be a wrestler. What's going on?
I do. I want to train somewhere.
there's a burger and a dozen beer at his feet.
Fucking hell.
All right, let's go way back to when you were a kid and stuff, your beginnings. When did you decide that you were a wrestling fan, and when did you decide to get into the profession?
I guess I was always a wrestling fan. I saw my first show, WrestleMania 3, however old I was, 3 or 4 at the time with my dad. And the classic, seeing the Hulk Hogan slam Andre the Giant kind of gimmick. Saw that, and I was hooked ever since. Watched that throughout that era. I watched the Bret Hart era. I liked Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. I like that. But I really got back into it in the Attitude Era, like most of us kind of did, I would assume. And funny enough, I had a girlfriend at the time that worked at a restaurant called St. Hubert's. I'm not even sure if you have that in Nova Scotia, but it's a Quebec base. Anyways, the point is, she worked with Titus and Julian, and I was 20 at the time. And I just met up with them, and they were backyard wrestlers. And one day, the first time I met him, I was like, oh, yeah, this is Julian, this is Titus, they're wrestlers. And wrestlers, like, yeah, we just bought a ring. Tomorrow, if you want to come and try it out, I'm like, yeah, sure. So I got to the next morning at 10 a.m., I'm knocking on their door, and they're all sleeping because they're like, what the hell are you doing? And so I'm like, dude, I'm here for the ring. So we set up the ring, and that was it, man. That was it for me. We found a wrestling school after that. We got to Emile Dupree's, which is Rene Dupree from the WWE. We found him. I guess just perfect timing for us. They got a ring, and the next day, or a week after, whatever it was, in the newspaper, it had an ad for wrestling school. So I'm like, holy shit, definitely gonna do that. So we did that for a whole year. Twice a week, weekends, Saturday and Sunday. And this is, I swear to God, like old school training. Like Emile Dupree at 65, 70 years old, whatever he was, beating the shit out of us every day. Every single day. I remember I got my nose broken. That's why my nose is so horrible. I got my jaw cracked. It was legit. We started out, there was like 20-some people. We ended up, there was 4 people that graduated. And me, Titus, and Julian were obviously part of that.
And who was the 4th?
Where is he now? Ask. A lot of people think, I was there at the end, but they weren't. So whatever. I'm going to leave it at that. But I'm not going to insult anybody.
So once training was done, can you remember your very first show you were booked at? And if so, where was that?
I was a little upset at the time because I remember in Grand Prix Wrestling, which was Emile Dupree, Julian and Titus got booked, and I didn't. And I was like, what the hell? So they went on tour for the whole summer, and I didn't have anything. So looking back, I can't blame him because I was legit the same height I'm now. I was 6'2", but I was 140 pounds. 140 pounds, just got in the gym, didn't know how to eat right. I definitely was not a natural at wrestling. It definitely took me time. Like Titus and Julian, they just kind of pick stuff up. I picked it up, you know, but I had more heart, like anything. I had more heart more than skill at the time. So they got booked for the whole summer, and my first show was after that was September in IHW. After the tour was over, Julian and Titus decided, okay, we're going to start on. Justin, you fat fuck. Put the hamburger down.
Sorry for his unprofessional.
You got mayonnaise on your shirt.
No, it's lettuce.
Did he really?
You got lettuce? Pack that up for me if you can.
Sorry that his hamburger ruined your story, but please continue.
Yeah.
Good burger.
Julia, they started their own company called IHW, which still runs now in Moncton and the area of New Brunswick. So they started that, and I had my first match against a guy called Sidewinder, which you may know. He was on the first Wrestlecentre show as Nick Teeth, which he hasn't been seen ever since. But at the time, we both started kind of at the same time. He was a young kid. So that was my first match. Nervous. If you can look, you go on YouTube, Mr. Suave versus Sidewinder. Dude, I had the long hair, cut off Iron Man
Oh, we lost one.
shirt, little tights. You get to do it. I'm like 150 pounds. It's something to see, man. If you want to go back on that, there's like 3,000 views on that damn match. I wish it could just fucking go away, but it is what it is.
Do you remember going back your first time backstage, and who was the guy that came up to you and kind of welcomed you into the backstage area, or was it pretty intimidating?
Well, like a lot of the guys now, like Justin, I think your first match, like all kidding aside, me and Justin, like we know each other really well, and I'm just teasing and stuff. And your first show, I think, was with Aaron Matthews, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I assume it's going to be the same thing as him. First time I was backstage, there was no veterans there. There was no welcome. They were all my friends. It was all like people that I knew, you know. So it wasn't like I go there and I was kind of intimidated the first show, which I assume Justin was kind of the same thing, right?
Yeah, so you went there. The only people I didn't know was like maybe 2 wrestlers, but everybody else is everyone when I got into wrestling, is everyone I've become friends with. So the same thing.
Same thing. Okay,
I was more nervous at the first Wrestlecentre show working with you guys because I knew none of you. So.
Yeah, well, it was the same. Exact same process, I guess. After the IHW show, we got booked. I sent out my tape, the only match that I had, to Wildman Gary Williams, Peter. Well, not Peter Smith. Peter Smith was overseas at the time, but to Gary, just to get some feedback and all that stuff. And excuse me, Gary said, "Oh my God, I thought you'd be horrible, but you're not that bad." So through that, we got Yeah, so that was, yeah. I thought, but Gary's such a nice guy that even if I sucked, which I did, he'd be like, "Well, you're not that bad." So, thankfully, I didn't send him to Pete because Pete would have been, "You suck."
You suck.
But good for me. So Gary kind of hooked me, Titus, Julian, and Sidewinder at the time up. On a couple of Nova Scotia shows. So that's where I got my first backstage of Peter Smith and No Class Bobby Bass was there at the time, and Gary, the Rick Doyles and such. And Pete just got back from, overseas tour, so he was legit. He made his living off wrestling. So that was very kind of, thankfully we were never I don't think you probably can't tell this from now, but we weren't really loudmouths at the time, so that's good. So we just kind of sat back and just shut our mouths, and I think that got us over well at first. So we never really ran into any problems, but it was definitely intimidating for sure, 100%.
The first time I met you backstage at Wrestlecentre, that was your advice. Shut your mouth.
That was my advice, sure, yeah.
Just shut your mouth.
It is what it is, because I remember you. I had no idea who you were, and you came up, and I just saw this Damien Cage gimmick, which you still doing for fun, which is funny now. But at first, you came on, and you had no idea. You had no idea how to come in, which is fine, You came in, and you did it all the wrong way. And now, if you would have done that now, with permission and people know you and stuff, I think it would have been fine.
Yeah, I learned.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone pretty well told me the next day.
Say that again. Sorry.
I said everyone told me pretty well the very next day.
Yeah, exactly.
I contacted Jason Mosier about joining whatever. He's like, "Oh, just send me a resume." And I thought, "Well, fuck, what better resume? I'll just create my character."
Yeah, that's what a lot of new guys do. It's they create a character before they kind of learn.
Yeah.
And that's if ever somebody kind of asks me for advice, that's what I say. Just don't bother about. Oh, I'm thinking about doing this character, and maybe I'll do this. Just fuck off with that shit, man. Just go out, work as much as possible. A good example is you guys know him as Dean Fisk. Kirk. He came up through the Peter Smith School. The first year he was a jobber. People yelled at him, "Jobber, you're a jobber." And we're like, dude, that's cool, man. Just fucking don't worry about it. He had no gimmick. He came out, with a little thing, but nothing over the top or anything. Just went out there and he said, "Hey, so I got dogs. You get come here. This is yeah. What's up, bro? This is Bruce.
He's vegan too?
No. This is Bruce. I named him after Bruce Campbell. If you're an Evil Dead fan, you might know. Yeah. Okay, stop. So, where was I? Shit. What was I saying?
Dean Fisk about the...
Dean Fisk. Yeah, so he made a point to get booked everywhere. It didn't matter where. Like, I go to Quebec, I went to New York City, I go to Boston, and he was there. You know what I mean? He was just, and I offered to a lot of people. And he was just like, yes, before anything, he was like, yes, let's go, let's do this, let's go, can you get me booked here? And dude, in 1 year, he got 50 matches last year, which is really good for a guy in the first year. Justin, you would know it's hard to get booked around here, man. There's a very minimum real federations that you want to get booked for, and especially in Nova Scotia where everybody hates everybody, and you get, it's retarded. I mean, there's just work for everyone. It's not that big of a deal,
It'd be nice if we could do that, but
it is worth.
Yeah, you know what it is. You kind of touched on it just then. You said you've been in Quebec and Boston and New York and stuff like that. What's the farthest that you've gone for working?
Say that again. Sorry.
What's the farthest that you've gone for working? Like the farthest you've traveled to go work?
Oh, New York.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quebec City's like 9 hours or whatever. But New York was Long Island was like 16.
When did you start doing like shows down in the States and stuff?
The States, I just started. I really had no interest ever in going to the States, just because for the reason that when I got brought in, it was a little bit of a different time, especially like under Pete and all those guys. It's like, don't work for free. If you're gonna travel, make sure they pay your gas, all this stuff. You're not a mark. You're not. Who are we working for? Are you? So going to the States, if you go to the States, a worker from the States, let's say you go from Massachusetts to New York, they don't pay your trans. They don't. So you have to get a carload of guys that will chip in for gas. Gas is pretty cheap in the States, but still, and then you get a PO, and that's what it is. So for New York, I didn't get paid for trans, which is fucking, it is what it is, but I got a good enough PO where I came back and I still made a bit of money. So so back in the day, going up, it was, sorry, Dave, I'll give you a second. Yeah. So I really had no interest. I really had no interest of going there and not making any money where I could go. When I was living in Quebec or living in New Brunswick or the Maritimes, I go to Newfoundland. I get paid to go to Newfoundland. They pay my travels. Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Quebec, and so that's kind of good for me.
So did you contact the people in New York, or did they hear about you through the grapevine?
Well, the person you guys met is Earl Cooter. I think you met him through. We just mutually talked. He was coming to Halifax. He saw a bit of my work, and he's like, "Dude, yeah, come to New York, man. It'll be good." No, I got through in there was a tag team match. I didn't know anybody to tag team, but I just did my thing. I got over. My stuff got over, and it was good. Cool. It was good. So yeah, good things came of it.
Yeah. So you've been wrestling now for how many years?
This is my 10th year.
10. Okay, cool.
But to say I took about, I would say probably 2 years off, 3 years off in that 10 year. I just really got back to it 3 years ago.
Right.
And is that when you decided to hit the gym and put 110% into it?
Yeah, definitely.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I heard some comments. I think Peter Smith said maybe on a podcast last week or something. He brought your name up that you're putting in. You just completely changed your outlook of the business, and
definitely
you hit the gym. And
I've always hit the gym. I just didn't know how to eat, and I wasn't eating enough. And for a guy that's vegetarian, doesn't eat meat, it's hard to put on weight. I'm legit right now, 215 pounds. I don't have much meat on me. It's a work in progress, man. If I stop my routine for 2-3 weeks, I go right back down. It's like a constant kind of, eat every 2 hours. It's like I don't want to eat, but I have to eat, man. It is what it is. It's a struggle, but it's good. It's good,
so
man.
when did you decide to make your being a vegetarian part of your gimmick, your act?
Well, that fucking gimmick got over with all my friends. I've never put over the fact that I'm a vegan to anybody. Every time I go to a restaurant, it's like, oh, okay, look at the vegan here. I'm like, I never tell people, oh, you should go vegan because of this or do this because of that. That's just kind of when I was born. My mom's a super carnivore. My dad's a super carnivore. Hell, my mom every year she goes to Labrador and hunts for her meat. That's legit 100% like a shoot. So I grew up with that. I grew up with, my mom eating deer and moose and, all that stuff. But for me, I never got into it. I never really had red meat in my life. I never tasted fish. Even as a child, I would just kind of stay away from it. So it was very hard growing up, like as a meat and potatoes type of family in a small town that didn't really, without the internet and all that stuff, it was quite hard. But so that's probably why I was so skinny. And I would say probably around the age of 25, I really started kind of with the internet helping me out. Like, okay, what can I do here? So I got supplements and how to eat and all that stuff. So to go back to the original question, to incorporate it in my gimmick, it was just always me, and people made fun of me, and people even hated it without me even doing anything. So I was like, wow, fuck, if this can get over, I'll try it. So I tried it the first time in Newfoundland, I think was the first time I tried it. Really got over, and I've kind of been that ever since.
I remember the first time I fell in love with it was the video you put on Facebook. It was just ingredients in your blender. You never even saw you. You put everything in the blender, and then all of a sudden you just look down and went, vegan! I'm like, that is gold.
Yeah. Well, that was one of the first things I did, I think. So, yeah, it just kind of came naturally, which is I did the Mr. Suave. Like, I still get called Mr. Suave. You still call me Mr. Suave at the show?
That's what I'm told to call you.
Huh?
That's what I'm told to call you, Mr. Suave.
Yeah, again, that doesn't make much sense to me. I come out yelling and all that shit, but I guess that's kind of my personality as well outside of wrestling. So, I don't know. Whatever, man. You can call me whatever you want. At the end of the day, I don't care. I'll get over. I don't care.
At the last show, did you smack another tray out of somebody's hand?
Yeah.
Because I looked down for a second, and when I looked back up, everyone was yelling, and I just seen something flying there.
Yeah. It's been a couple times, but I don't know if they expect me to take it. But when I'm out there, I mean, like, it's me. Like, the intensity when I go out, it's 100% me. You know what I mean? The character, as you guys know, like 5 minutes before the show, I get in character, and it's like, that's it. I'm going out there, and I'm yelling, and I get the voice down, and I do my thing. And when I'm out there, that's it. I there's no kind of second guessing myself. I just go for what me. I am an asshole in real life. You guys probably know. I'm kind of a dick in real life, especially if you don't know me. I don't give a fuck. Like, I know enough people, so I'm not worried about impressing anybody. So if somebody gives me something, I just, the natural instinct just throwing it. I don't know if you wanted me to take it and eat it, but it was like instinct just to take it and kind of hit it out of his hand, and it got over. And it keeps happening, so it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
So what do you think of the Wrestlecentre fans so far, the last year?
They're good. They're really good. Right now, it's such a hard question. But Wrestlecentre fans are really good, and they've been good to me, and I think I've been good to them because I gave a lot to get over. As they're giving me good reactions, but I think I've done enough to get those reactions. They're good. I think Wrestlecentre itself is good. Where it goes in the future, let's hope for the best. You know, I'm not sure. I love Christopher Daniels. I love that he's there all the time. I'm sure he's not going to be there all the time because I'm sure it's quite expensive and all that stuff. But let's just hope for the best.
Okay.
Let's take advantage of it as wrestling fans. As me, I'm marking out as much as everybody else. You know what I mean? It's very good for the business, especially in the Maritimes.
Last year, your match with Julian Young, the ladder match. We're getting some feedback. I don't know. Maybe your computer's turned up a little too loud.
Who, me? Well, I'm on an iPad.
Okay, cool. No. Your ladder match was voted match of the year. Let's go back. What were your thoughts going into that match?
Are you still getting feedback? Are you good?
No, we're good now.
Cool. Going into that match, I wrestled Julian, I don't know, maybe not hundreds of times, but at least 100 times. There was a little spots that were like, okay, let's do this and that. But for the most part, it was kind of like, all right, let's just go and build a match, build the ladders. And I see too many ladder matches that go out and, okay, well, ladders are in right away and they're killing each other and boom. And by the end of it, people are like, okay, well, I've seen everything at this point. So it's like, big deal. So we just decided, okay, let's build to all that crazy stuff. And I think it turned out really well. I'm still feeling the effects of it. My right elbow is still messed up. So was it worth it? Maybe not. But, it was cool. It was awesome. Me and Julian have a great chemistry, and I like the guy quite a bit. I wish he'd get some new gear. But other than that, he's really good.
Awesome. Sean, you're awfully quiet. Ask some questions.
If you don't mind, just going back to the diet thing, being a vegan, how hard do you find it on the road if you're going down to places like Boston, New York City, even driving up to Quebec to get the necessary, nutrition that your diet requires? I can imagine it can only be pretty difficult late at night.
It is that's a good question. It is quite hard. Like a lot of guys just go out and buy food. They can stop at after the show they'll stop somewhere and eat. Not most of the time, all the time. I get my stuff ready. I get my book bag is mostly full of food that I can kind of snack on. I got beans and grains and fruits and vegetables that I can kind of constantly eat to keep myself going. Long term, if I'm going to do this as a living at some point, which is obviously the hope, I'm going to have to figure something out at that point. But there's always, you can go to the Subways to get salads and such. So there's always possibilities. But again, if I'm driving somebody, I'm usually not the veteran in the car, and I'm usually not driving. So I don't decide where we stop. I don't decide, I go where people want to go. I'm not going to be, let's go to Subway because I can't eat meat. Fuck up. I bring my lunch and I do my thing. If I can get something where it's all vegetables, it's good, But it can get hard. It can get fucking really hard, but it is what it is. Very good.
Cool. Recently, I brought up Peter Smith's podcast he was on. He was talking a little bit about the whole Michael Elgin hamburger spot with you.
Yeah.
Take us back to that and what your thoughts were.
Oh, I can't. Buddy. Fuck. It was. I like Elgin a lot. We keep in touch. He's. I'd love to. If he come back, I think we have some business we can do in Wrestlecentre. If he come back, I think we can definitely work something. The whole burger spot, it was just, it is what it is, man. I'm not going to go back on it, but I was quite upset at the time. I know Peter Smith was really upset at the time, but it is what it is. I should have just said, at that moment, I should have just, okay, dude, it's over. But the juices were flowing. I was like, okay, to think on the spot. And I was like, all right, let's just fucking do it. And going back, it was definitely the wrong thing to do. It definitely should have been, if somebody's going to do that, it definitely should have been a local guy, put that local guy over. But it is what it is. It is what it is. It's not no big deal. Like, Elgin's a very nice guy, and he's, doing really well for himself. So
it's got to do with the fact that an international person did it, or was it because you're vegan and they did the meat? Pete wasn't pissed at the fact that it was meat being shoved in your mouth.
No, he didn't care about that. So I guess if I can explain better, we did a spot in the match which we came up with. And I'm like, oh, we should do this. And Justin, I think you went to Burger King to get the hamburgers.
Yeah, you sent me to get.
Yeah. So boom, the spot was, he gets me down. He goes outside. He grabs a hamburger, shows it to everybody, goes to shove it down my throat. I block. We do a spot where I'm like, I get close, and I rake his eyes or do something and throw it away.
And then you threw it, and it flew across and hit the pop machine where an old fellow was getting a pop at the time. The patty hit the.
Really?
I don't know if you knew that or not, but we were all like, oh!
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, I definitely threw that hamburger across. So that spot was fine. The spot that he didn't like, and I guess I didn't like either, was at the end. The match was over. By the way, the spot was Shane Stevens was supposed to come out because I was working Shane Stevens the next show. I was supposed to come out, and after the match with Elgin, I'm looking back. Shane Stevens supposed to hit me in the back and throw me back in the ring so we can finish it with the crowd happy. Elgin gives me this finisher or whatever. I'm like this waiting. No Shane Stevens. I'm like, fuck. All right, then. So I just walk back in the curtain. So that's why Michael Elgin comes back out. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, I don't know. Shane's like, I don't know. I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my God. I feel disgusted wearing that shirt. So he's like, what the hell? So he's like, okay, let's do the hamburger spot. I'm like, hamburger spot? I was like, okay. So we go back, and he shoves the hamburger down my throat, and we come back. I thought about being, it was what it was. I was doing it. I'm like, fuck, we should have done that right now. Because, I guess, if we're going to do the hamburger spot, which is not that big of a deal, at this point, it's not that big of a deal. We should have got like a local, like a Double XL or a Shane Stevens, like build up to it, and then one of the locals, he could have got the pop, and then we could have worked from there, But it was just kind of a hamburger in mouth, and then that was it. Right. So whatever.
So next week, as our next big Wrestlecenter show, you are set to defend your title once again. This time against Nick Diggs, a man you faced during the tournament for that title. What are your thoughts on your match with Nick Diggs?
Well, see, this is where I get upset. And I'm not trying to be in character, but why am I facing Nick Diggs? Can anybody answer that? Shouldn't I be facing the Samoa Joes, the Christopher Daniels? Again, I'm not trying to be in character here, but I am the best wrestler in the Maritimes. It's not Double XL as much as Double XL tries to be friends with all the fans. And, he's a legit good guy. He talks to everybody on Facebook, and he replies to anyone. I don't care about that stuff. And it's not to shoot down the fans, because you know what? The fans pay their money. And good for them if they get to talk to Double XL. It's not Shane Stevens. It's definitely not Nick Diggs. I'm the best wrestler in the Maritimes. I should be main eventing every card at Wrestlecentre. And that's a shoot. You can like it or you can not like it. I'm the one that gets booked everywhere, not anybody else. So now I'm facing Nick Diggs again. What happened the first time I fought Nick Diggs? What happened? I beat him up. I kicked him in the face. I punched him in the face. He had no retort. I think everyone will agree, when I'm in the ring, okay, it might be predetermined, it should work, but when I kick you, when I punch you, it's real, man. I'm not pulling any punches. I'm not pulling any kicks. When I knee you in the face for my finish, that's it. You don't want to get up. People always ask to wrestle me. It's funny. They always ask, oh, I want to wrestle Slav. I want to go and steal the show. They don't. Because afterwards, they're like, okay, well, that was a bad idea. Because I will kick you, and I'm going to punch you, and that's what's going to happen again, April 9th. I'm going to fight Nick Diggs. I know he doesn't want to fight me, but he's put in a position where he has to. So I'm going to punch him, and I'm going to make him bleed this time. I'm going to make him bleed. I'm going to make sure he doesn't want to fight me again. And that's a legit shoot. I know everybody's paying their money to go see Samoa Joe versus Christopher Daniels, which, you know what, that's a huge matchup, and that should be why you're paying your money. But I'm telling you, the most brutal fight of the night is going to be me and Nick Diggs, because this is a legit shoot. I don't like Nick Diggs. He's a little pretty boy. All right, he goes to the gym once in a while. His gear is okay. Prove to me that you want this. All right, I've proved it quite a bit, and I keep proving it. Nick Diggs, if you want it, come get it. And I'm telling you, once I punch you and you don't have any retort, I'm going to keep punching you until I feel like you've had enough. And it's going to be either he's going to be done with wrestling, but he's for sure, not going to want to fight me again. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to send him to UCW with the JP Sims. That's what I'm going to do.
Shots fired. Do you think
there's no shots fired? UCW, it is what it is, and Wrestlecentre is the marquee, is where you want to be. You want to be the UCW champion? Go right ahead. You know what I mean? You can go fight. You fight the fat overweight guys. Go, good for you.
Dude, there's a difference in Nick now though. Since
you got me hot here. See what I'm saying? Anyways, ask your question.
There's a difference in Nick since the last time you faced him though. He has been a little snapped off lately. You know, he kicked the shit out of me once, and yeah, I'm not a wrestler or anything, but
yeah, you're not.
There's a difference in him now. Are you expecting anything different, or?
No, not at all. I expect less because he knows. He knows. So he can be tweaked out. He can beat you up all he wants. Again, UCW is right there. There's a huge difference between, and no offense to you, Justin, you're a big guy, you're a tough guy. But when you're in there with me, there's a huge difference. It's not like being there with anybody else. Because I'm going to kick you hard in the face. And that sucks. It's not fun. If you don't like that stuff, then he's fucked. That's what it is.
You mentioned earlier that you want to make this your career. What are your goals in the future? Like, where do you see yourself going?
Well, all I can say is for right now, if you're a fan of Marcus Burke or if you're a fan of Mr. Suave, come to the next few shows this summer. I'm definitely going to be working on the Maritimes quite a bit. But afterwards, I'm just going to, and I still have to kayfabe everything. I'm not, it's not 100%, but I'm just going to make a go for it. I'm going to go for it. If it, you know what, I'm going to go get experience elsewhere. It might be good. I've done it before. I moved from New Brunswick to Quebec for wrestling, and that was good for me. And I'm going to kind of do it again. I'm not going to Quebec this time, but yeah. So if you're a fan of me, come watch the next few shows for sure.
Cool. Well, I want to thank you so much for joining us on the Wrestlecentre podcast, and we will see you 6 nights from now.
Yeah.
April 9th at the Halifax Forum Multipurpose Center.
You got me all upset. See, we started off good, and then you started talking about Nick Diggs, and for some reason I got upset because.
Do you want to bite a burger to cheer you up?
You want some of my burger?
Burgers.
I got some.
Is it?
I got something to cheer you up. Come on.
Stitches! Okay. But what I gotta say, couple things before I go. Go watch Stitches on YouTube. He's the best rapper of all time. Best rhymes. Okay, that little inside joke. But if you're a fan of me, or if you want to be a fan of me, follow me at Vegan Wrestler on Twitter.
That was Marcus Burke. Awesome interview. Thank you so much. We'll see you. He's an awesome guy.
Oh yeah, Marcus Burke's fantastic.
He's a jerk, but he's a cool guy.
Seems like you.
Oh, what?
Guys, follow us. You hear me say this all the time in the ring, but follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/WrestleCentre, or the groups page, which
Why do we have to?
Don't even go there. I like the facebook.com/groups/WrestleCentre. That's where all you guys, fans and stuff, chit chat and all that stuff. Twitter/WrestleCentre. We're on Instagram. Love it. Instagram / how does the Instagram work? Is it /WrestleCentre? There you go. Check out our new website, WrestleCentre.com. There's lots of stuff on there. Just picture of Sean.
No picture of me.
I asked for it to be taken down. I have no business being on there at all.
Not only are there, you're an executive.
I showed up one day with a tie on. They're like, man, well, this guy must be somebody important. Let's put him on a website.
I think you're important.
I'm not important.
You're a hell of a fella. And yeah, so that's it, you guys. I hope you enjoy this podcast. I'm sure it might be the last one. It all depends. Or we'll have to post it somewhere totally different.
Get ready for that fucking interview.
Anyway, I'm Dave Boys, Justin Parsons Cody, which I didn't have to read, and Paul Flatley / Sean Ritchie, and we will see you April 9th at the Halifax Forum Multi-Purpose Center. See ya!